Football League. We are the Raiders from all around Geelong.
And welcome back. Yes, we've managed to keep Grubby quiet for a little while. We're going to talk about the action on this afternoon very shortly. We'll look at the ladder in a minute, but I've got a couple of quick cheerios I have to do. First of all, my grandson Jacob turned 18. He turned 16 this week. Believe it, I've got that completely stuffed up. But good on you, mate. 16 years old. Hard to believe. You wouldn't think I'd have a grandchild that old. Young, would you? Young, old. That doesn't matter, folks, would you? And a very special friend of mine, Margie Tubb, who is a great friend, and she watches the show every week, and she wanted to me to send a cheerio to her. Good on you, Marg. It was lovely to catch up with you this week, unfortunately in the most unfortunate circumstances. We're going to look at the ladder. So I've got my bit out of the way, Grubby, all my family cheerios. Here they are. Okay, nothing's changed up the top of the tree there. The Bellpost Hill Panthers. Poppers Panthers looking all right at the moment. 10 wins, zip, no losses at all, followed by the North Geelong Magpies going along very, very nicely indeed at the moment. Werribee Centrals. Anarchy Roos, well, they're really going gangbusters at the moment. They're really making a run. East Geelong, they're back in the final five again after an ordinary start to the season. Followed by the Geelong West Cheetahs, the Tommy Tigers. Boy, is that a big game on this afternoon at the Thompson Thunderdome. Winchelsea, Bannockburn, Corio, the Belmont Lions and Inverleigh yet to open their account, although they nearly pulled up the upset a couple of weeks ago against Bellpost Hill. Well, it's on this afternoon, speaking of Bellpost Hill. It is the 94.7 match of the day, and they're up against the rampaging Anarchy Roos. There it is on your screen. And, of course, Anarchy hoping to win in this game, and really the yardstick, the Bellpost Hill Footy Club at the moment, Eric, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are, and it'll be a very good test for Anarchy, but they're going along very nicely at the moment. Grubby and I were talking before we come on air this morning. They've got a fantastic run home, Anarchy. If they were lucky enough to get up and tip over Bellpost Hill today, they've got a real chance of consolidating that position in the top five.
Absolutely, Grubby. Say something.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, but that's easier said than done. They've got to get over that. And look, Bellpost are very, very hard to beat. But just having a look, going back to that ladder for a minute, is there any sides gone? Like Inverleigh are probably gone. Belmont are gone.
Corio, probably.
Corio, we give one more chance to?
No, I don't think they could get up from there. They're just a bit far back.
All right, well, let's go back. Where were we? We're out at
what about
Western Ring, weren't we?
It'd be worth
put the ladder up for
Put the ladder back up.
It'd be worth going to Myers Reserve this afternoon, Grubby, just to watch Wilson versus Symes. If Wilson's now back in a bit of form, I just hear Phil a moment ago say that Wilson's found some touch. They're two of the potentially the best ruckman in the competition.
Well, they are, and we spoke about that. Pity he wasn't a little bit playing like that about 4 weeks ago, because we could have done with him out at North Geelong that day in the against the North Central.
Yeah.
Because I think, as we said the other week, that bloke Strange from North Central, he actually made the Victorian Country Football League side, so the Vic squad. So, but it'll be a good contest. One of them's a big knockout specialist and a genuine ruckman. Symes plays like a ruck rover a little bit and runs around the ground. So it'll be a very good duel, yeah.
The other feature, I know you got cut off a moment ago, Nick Costello back in that Anarchy side. What a fantastic feat. He was written off last year. We were at the game when he went down, never to play again, we reckon.
Wow.
He's come back, 5 goals last week. He'll be a huge asset for that Anarchy team.
Well, you're right. No, matter of fact, I got cut off years ago. That's why I'm only 4'3", but we saw him go down that day and we thought, oh boy, that was a really bad one. But look, not only good to see him back playing, but good to see him kick 5 goals and one of their better players. That's just fantastic, and good luck to the boy.
So can there be an upset this afternoon?
Yes, there can, but no, I don't think there will be. If you want to understand it.
I never understand.
Look, they nearly upset you blokes out at North Geelong, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
I don't think they can beat them, but let's just hope they can stay in the contest. And actually, Bellpost Hill have dropped away a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't play well against Inverleigh. They were down against West. So maybe they're gone. They're gone.
You could probably say that. They might well be in a mid-season.
They're on the way out, Eric.
I give up.
Could be.
I give up. And another big one on this afternoon, it's the Tommy Tigers, and their form's back in action again. They take on the North Geelong Magpies out at the Thompson Thunderdome at Godfrey Street. This will be a beauty because there's nothing better than a North Geelong versus a Violet Crumbles game. And I'll tell you what, I'll start with you, Grubby. The Tommy Tigers, they really have to win this game to A, see where they're at the moment, or most importantly, to have a crack at getting inside the final five.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They can't afford to drop too many more. Like they had who'd they play last week? They had a pretty good win last week against Inverleigh.
Yeah.
Look, they have to win this game. As soon as they lose 1 or 2, then they're out of it too. Yeah. Obviously, they've had plenty of injuries. The good thing about it the other week is they won the game without Jackson McLeod being their best player, which he has been for most of the year this year. But it's great to see back in form Luke Forbes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, GDFL need a champion bloke like him playing good footy, and obviously he's back playing that good footy.
Yeah, I agree with what you've said, Grubby, because had Thompson lost last week, I'd have put them in the category of the other three. No chance. But now they've got a chance, but they've got to beat teams like North Geelong. And North Geelong, where are they getting these fellas? Toby Briggs come in last week. I got a message at quarter time up at Werribee. This new fella Biggs, he's kicked 3 goals in the first 3 minutes. A great asset to the north side. And the rumour has it they've got a couple more to come in. So they'll miss Briggy out for the rest of the season. And when you miss your key focal point, that they've got problems. But I think North, it'll be a danger game for them out of Thompson this after, but I think they can win.
Oh, they'll win all right, and you can throw in Sam Clark as well, who's not playing as well.
Oh, yeah,
He's another great player not playing.
And Blake Miller.
And they'll still be too good for him.
Absolutely, and a couple of recruits coming in, and they're both magpies from Casterton and Camperdown. We're going to let you know.
Don't worry about those blokes.
That's all right, don't you worry about
What about
that.
the young bloke that came back last week and got in the best players, Mark Paramanov? How'd he go on the weekend?
We've got one more game to go. You know what a wind-up means? Cogsy's starting to give us a wind-up, so we've got to be on
don't
time.
worry about Cogsy. We'll add it on to next week's show.
It'll be good to be out of the Thompson Thunder game to see the ex-mayor Johnny Mitchell. I hope they still like him out there. I don't know what goes out there anymore. The other big game on this afternoon is out at the Devils Playground. It's the Cryer Devils, and they take on Inverleigh guys. Can Inverleigh make their first win come true?
No.
Fair enough, thanks.
You want me to wind me up? No.
We've still got a little bit of time.
No.
I reckon they've got a chance, Dick. There you
Right?
go. Yeah, I reckon Inverleigh got a chance this afternoon. But unfortunately, both sides can't make the top 5 anymore. And I just think it'll be just both teams on the day playing for a bit of pride.
If Inverleigh obviously struggled, Corio at times have been very, very good.
Yep.
They just haven't been able to put 4 quarters together. I reckon they'll put 4 quarters together and win.
Well, there you go. Well, there you've had it, folks. So Grubby's back in action this afternoon. At least Eric will be able to understand most of the things he says out at the Belpost Hill Footy Club. And as we said, it is the 94.7 match of the day out at the Ring Road Recreation Reserve. The top of the tree, the Belpost Hill Panthers taking on the Anarchy Roos. Thanks for your company again. Thanks, Eric, for your company this morning.
Pleasure, Dick. I've got to get over lunch with Grubby. That's the
I know,
today.
and good to see you, Grubby. We can just see you. There you are.
It's just wonderful to be back talking to
And
you.
read the contract
blokes.
next time. When I tell you to stop talking, you must stop talking.
That's very hard for me to do.
I know, mate. Once again, we'll say you all again next week. Hope the footy club wins this afternoon. Bye for now, and catch you all next Saturday morning.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. We're here to tell you how football is strong.